how a fake priest led to a $140,000 fine for a California restaurant. This is pretty weird. A California restaurant is facing major consequences after allegedly hiring a fake priest to extract confessions from its employees. Taqueria Garibaldi, which is weird because that sounds Italian, but combined with taqueria, that confuses me. Anyways, with two branches in California, has been ordered by the U.S. District Court to pay $140,000 in compensation to its workers. The U.S. Department of Labor revealed that a fake priest hired by restaurant I can't talk, owner Che Garibaldi urged employees to confess their sins and ask them if they had stolen or intended to harm the employer. The investigation also uncovered other labor rights violations, including denial of overtime pay, illegal bonuses to managers, and threats of retaliation and threats of adverse immigration consequences. Federal investigators condemned the restaurant's actions, calling the hiring of a fake priest a shameful act of corruption. Marc Pilotin, a regional solicitor of labor, described the attempts at retaliation as despicable. So here's what I know so far. In the news reporting on this, there wasn't a lot of details. So we kind of have to fill in the blanks. So all I know is that this guy hired someone who was said to be a priest to come to the restaurant and like give confessions to take confessions from the workers. And it my impression, okay, I could be wrong because the details weren't clear. My impression is that this priest was there to like take confessions from the workers, and as this person was taking their confessions, would basically ask them probing questions about about their work and ask them about like if you've like stolen anything, if you've been stealing time, have you been showing up to work in time, like have you been doing your best, like all this stuff. And the priest was the quote unquote priest was then probing them with all these questions about their work in the context of this confession, and then would go behind their back to then go report all this stuff back to the employer, right? I've never heard of anything like this. This is weird as hell. And so like, this apparently was a completely fake priest. I have no idea where this person came from. This happened in Sacramento, I believe. And the Archdiocese of Sacramento came forward and was like, hey, this person is not a real priest. They're not associated with us in any way, shape, or form. I don't know who this guy is. And yeah, this is like the weirdest way to micromanage your employees that I have ever heard.
Is this guy insane or something? Like, what did he think was gonna happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I've
It's like
never
a
heard of
child.
someone like bringing a priest to your professional setting and being like, "Hey, if you guys want to do some confessions right now, you don't even have to go to the cathedral. I got you. I brought it straight to your workplace. You can do your confessional right here, man. It's totally fine. Look at how
Okay,
much
but
I care
what?
about your spiritual
Who's it?
well-being. What the fuck?"
No, okay. It's weird that he thought about this. Okay, like it's weird that he thought nobody would suspect anything. Like, did you like who brings it? Like, even if it was a here's the levels of weirdness. Even if
Yeah.
it was a real priest, it would still be weird. Like you provide, like you bring in priests. Like, we could go to church if we're Catholics, right? And everyone working there was a Catholic. Like
I
he
don't
was
know.
asking,
I
like
mean,
that's another weird.
if I mean, this is a little stereotypical, but we're working at a taqueria. Like the workers
Okay,
are most
sure.
likely almost entirely Hispanic and
Well,
almost
okay, but the
entirely
fake
like
priest,
Catholic,
like who is
probably.
this? Okay, okay, but who's the the fake priest is like somebody was like, okay, sure, why
Who
not?
is this guy? Where
Like,
did they find him? I need more details.
I don't know. I just let's look at some of the comments.
And
Yeah,
Vish
this
Tech in the live chat is a next level spy. This seems like a TV show, Undercover Boss, with a twist.
and and also another weird thing about it is like to understand, like, are they like, you wanted to ask them if they're planning to harm him, Why would your employees, like, that's another weird thing. Why would they plan to harm you? Why would you suspect that?
Okay, here's the thing. There are some psycho managers out here in this world. And
Okay.
also restaurant owners, like I have them in my family. And here's the thing, it's a really hard business. The margins are small. We have inflation going on. Like we're recovering from COVID.
Right, right.
And the restaurant industry is known for breeding some absolute abusers. So
Okay, okay, okay. No,
I'm
but
not
that's weird. That's
entirely
still weird.
surprised.
But that is weird. That adds to the levels of weirdness for people like that don't expect employees to just want to hurt their managers, right? For the rest of us, at least. I don't
Yeah.
know what's happening in your country, but for us, the rest of the civilized world, that's weird. Um, what is this caption? By the way, I'm joking. I know you're proud to be proud of your country and all that.
No,
Okay,
oh my
but
god, my
I
pride
just,
for my
I just
country is like 90%
I know
ironic.
I know it's ironic. I am
It's a
also being
meme for
ironic,
me.
but yeah, what's the
um
read some of these captions?
this caption is saying this is a wild labor violation case. A California restaurant used someone to impersonate a priest and hear workers' confessions. Then the restaurant used that information to retaliate against workers. And what's so
Okay.
abusive to me is like the fact that they started using people's immigration status against them in situations like that. Like it's so toxic. That kind of behavior is abhorrent. Like when you, I like that's such a despicable thing to do. It's a despicable thing to do. Even if you have
Mm.
like someone in your staff who's undocumented and you know that they're undocumented and then to use that against them, it is despicable. I hate that kind of behavior. I've had many friends of mine who are undocumented and um the stuff that they have to deal with is just horrendous. It's insane. The comment below that said, "This is some shit Gordon Ramsay would do on Kitchen Nightmares." Okay, here's the deal. Don't put that on Gordon Ramsay, okay? He might yell at you, but he's not gonna abuse you and threaten with sending ICE on your ass, okay? ICE
This
is
uh, th-
immigration control for those who don't know. Um,
this is
this comment that sounds like the kind of thing that should be illegal, but is so out there that no one thought to criminalize it. Okay, they're not wrong. D
uh,
finds the best comments. This is funny.
yeah.
So it's exactly why would you confess to a priest at work even if he was real? You do that at church on your own time. Exactly. This whole situation. I have so many questions, but there were not a lot of details in the news reportings. I need to know how this was framed. How was this pitched to people? How many people
Mm.
participated? This is crazy.
We got a super chat, so let's do the super chat
Oh, from
first.
Ronnie. Another random question from Ronnie. This is a very controversial one. $5. Thank you, Ronnie. Saying if Europeans did not discover America, someone else, be it Arabs, Mongols, Turks, or Russians, would have. Do you think Native Americans were always doomed? Well, damn.
I think you're right, and I think it would have been worse.
Oh, well, you just had to take it there.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Well,
If the
why do you think they're always
Mongols,
doomed? Because I mean, necessarily, I mean, it's so hard in a hypothetical situation, but they did have a severe technological disadvantage, which played a large role in things. Also, the disease exposure played a huge role in things, and so there would probably be a factor of disease exposure if some other random group came too, right? But the technological advancement, I don't know how different that would have been in a different time, at what time there would have been a different first
they
encounter,
will
at what
always
time
have
they would
been.
have evolved.
They will always be behind. You know why they will
You think
always be
so?
behind?
Well, because they
Yes,
were
because
isolated.
no, well, I mean, the rest of the planet was isolated from them.
No, but I mean, think about like the new world in comparison to the old
Yeah, but
world
the
and all
new
the
world is big enough for it to become as civilized as the old one. They had big
yeah,
enough
they did have
land.
big civilizations.
No, but they never became closely. They didn't. They were stuck in the Bronze Ages. They were big civilizations, but the technology, when the Spanish showed up, they were stuck in the Bronze Age. They didn't go past the Bronze Age. Do you know
Hmm.
why? Because your continent doesn't have iron.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why they got stuck in the Bronze Age because they don't have iron.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Oh, wow. You just made me. I'm gonna think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Darko, Darko is saying mind blown. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but you're right. I do think that if the Mongols showed up before the Europeans, if the Mongols showed up instead of the Europeans, it would be more devastating. If the Arabs showed up,
Everyone should be
it
afraid of
would
the Mongol Empire, the Mongol expansion.
yeah,
It's terrifying, man.
yeah. I think they got the best. I think they got. I think it could have been better if the British showed up instead of the Spanish. Maybe.
I don't know. The British are freaking.
I don't know. I mean, the British did
It's the
show up
Portuguese
actually
and the Belgians you have to be worried about. Those,
soon after.
they're the Belgian and Portuguese empires are freaking psychotic.
Yeah. So somebody's saying the Mongols' navy sucked. Yes, we're saying if they were the people who showed up, it would have been worse. It would have been.
And he's
Yeah, I
also
mean,
making a good point. They aren't wiped out. It's a common misconception. There are still lots of indigenous Americans to this day. Let's
yeah.
be clear.
So they might have been. They would have been. So they would have been wiped out if the Mongols showed up instead of the
Oh
Europeans.
my god.
So, that would be the difference. That would be the difference.
Cat is saying the Mongols spared us. Dear.
I mean, to be fair to the Mongols,
Oh boy.
if you didn't fight back, they would, they would not slaughter, they would not commit a genocide on you. Okay, but they were like extreme. They were like, but if you did resist, they wouldn't go just a little bit of a genocide on you. They would just go like, we need to now completely erase you, right? Because you resisted. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Vikings. Okay, so can
It's so
we?
funny how Rashid has been Pakistan Defense Force has been yelling at me saying I know nothing about Iran, nothing about India, nothing about Pakistan, is saying that we completely wiped out indigenous Americans culturally. And he's like, not completely. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm actually going to a powwow later this summer. Like,
Yes, yes, yes. It's funny how he wants to shame you for things United States has happened in United States years ago, but he ignores things that are happening in Pakistan now.
oh, funny how that
Oh,
happens. Meanwhile, we're very
yeah,
comfortable talking about these things that actually are really bad and deserve criticism. I'm fine doing it, and
mm,
I don't take it personally. Funny.
exactly. Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, and also like notice how Susanna doesn't see it as a personal attack on her just because she's American, and we point out America having a history of doing really horrible things. She doesn't see it as an attack on herself because these are just facts. But you, when we talk about Pakistan doing certain bad things, you feel personally attacked because your mind is collectivist. You associate your identity with the entirety of Pakistan. You can't see the difference between the individual and the country. You can't separate that in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an
Oh,
area
we
for
got another.
personal growth. Okay. It's an area for
Yeah.
personal growth, PDF. Don't be a baby when it comes to
Rashid.
these things.
He's Rashid now. So he's not PDF anymore. He's
Oh,
Rashid.
excuse me, Rashid Jun.
Yes, yes.
Rashid.
Uh, All right, we got another super chat from Gage American.
Yes.
You want to
Okay.
read
Gagesian
this?
American gave us $2. He's saying, are you going to cover 303 Creative LLC versus Elenis? This is the Supreme Court case that I was mentioned briefly earlier. Yes, we are going to cover that next week. It happened only the decision came down 2 days ago. We didn't have enough time to prepare for, especially a news of that much importance. Yeah, so soon. But it's very, really important. So we will cover that.
Yeah. Okay. Also, guy, Trell, I know that the Vikings showed up in North America before the Europeans did. Okay, but they did not stay. Okay, they went. They went and did say hi to the natives, and then they were. They didn't. They didn't stay there. So their presence
Hi.
were not. Yeah, they were like hi,
Bye.
bye. Yeah.